Welcome back. My name is Sarah. I'm here today to talk about coffee and health, specifically about how we can use hydration and herbs to support our body while we are drinking coffee. There's no question that while there's health benefits to coffee, it is also taxing. It taxes our adrenals and it dehydrates us. A beautiful practice is to start the day with a glass of water before you do anything else. It can be extra beautiful if you spend that moment in deep gratitude of the magic that is water, how important it is for ourselves and our planet. And just keeping it on our radar throughout the day. Somebody asks you if you want a glass of water, the answer is always yes. If we're drinking coffee, we want to make sure that we're drinking extra water. Adding a little pinch of high quality salt to that is also going to help us replace our electrolytes. A little squeeze of lemon, same idea. Nice little hit of vitamin C. It's also taxing to our adrenals, and there's a number of ways we can support our adrenals. And the way that works, so our adrenals are little glands that sit on top of our kidneys and our lower backs. They make a ton of hormones, and a lot of them are around our energy. So, and particularly in response to stress. So when we drink a cup of coffee, we are essentially borrowing tomorrow's energy today from our adrenals. Supporting our adrenals makes that transaction a little more smooth. And there are a number of herbs that are easily accessible that we can take on a daily basis to support our adrenals to give us that extra energy. So I really love to use maca. Maca is a powder. It tastes a little bit malty or mapley. You can throw it in coffee. You can throw it in a smoothie. I like to make little cookie balls, my daughter calls them, and I'll link to a recipe there. All of the powdered herbs that I'm about to talk about, I can throw into a cookie ball recipe that's like nut butter, coconut oil, maybe some nut meal or seed meal if you don't do nuts, and roll them all up and have them in the fridge for a low time of day or preventative medicine for the adrenals, knowing that when we drink coffee it taxes that system. So maca is one. All of the chai spices, so the cinnamon, the cardamom, the nutmeg, the ginger, the mace, the black pepper, those are all like warming, stimulating, nourishing, energizing specifically for the adrenals. So choosing a cup of chai in addition to coffee is really balancing and good for us. There are a couple of herbs that I like to use either in tea or in glycerite. Tincture is also a really effective way to use herbs, but I'm allergic to alcohol, so I always use a glycerite instead. And I feel really good about giving my daughter glycerite. It's really sweet, so she loves to take it, and I can put it in her tea or even stir it into some yogurt or a little medicine drink, as I call it. And the two that I go to are lemon balm and rhodiola. So lemon balm is very nourishing and soothing. You even, as soon as I said it, lemon balm. Lemon balm is a nervine, so it's not the way a pharmaceutical drug would just dampen the central nervous response if it's out of whack or overactive in response to chronic stress. It's more of a bolstering, nourishing effect that lemon balm has on the body. So it grows like crazy. So if you have it in the spring or summer and you can just pour some hot water over some fresh leaves, that's a lovely way to do it. The rest of the year I order a glycerite of lemon balm, or in combination, maybe it'd be called stress tension soother or stress away or something like that. But looking for lemon balm in a tincture is really helpful. And then rhodiola is the second one. And this is a very quick felt sense of energy, like maca is, like coffee is. It's a little bit astringent or sort of bitter tasting, even in a glycerite, but when I throw it in some tea, I don't really detect it, or it's not gross. I will link to those as well. If any of these herbs are new to you, they are gentle, they're safe, they're easy to find, they're safe for kids. Some of them are safe for pregnancy. If you're pregnant, I would do some more digging before you started to adopt these. And hopefully you're not drinking a ton of coffee if you're pregnant as well. So adding salt and lemon to water and drinking water a lot, and really investigating some of these plant allies in different ways. Glycerite in tea, tincture in tea, adding them to a glass of water, or in food, like I like to make little cookie balls, can all be really helpful to support the body if you're going to drink coffee. And the most important, I want to end with this because the most important thing we can do, whether we're drinking coffee or not, is to rest. One of the reasons we love coffee so much is that it boosts our productivity. We value productivity in ourselves, and in our culture. I love to be productive. I love to drink a cup of coffee and get a bunch of stuff off my list. Closing a bunch of loops feels really good. And nothing replaces rest for the way it restores the system, the way it brings the mind and the body, especially the central nervous system, back to a baseline. We are living in a time right now where most of us are experiencing chronic stress. And our system is designed to deal with chronic stress in periods, and then where it ends. Like perhaps there's a famine and then the famine ends, or there's drought and then the drought ends. But we're living in a new era of chronic stress that never ends. Chronic stress that we're starting to see physiological symptoms by the time a kid is in 4th grade. And we carry this load of stress, and our system is responding to stress all the time. When we rest, we have this lovely cumulative effect when we rest every day that the body starts to depend on in a good way, starts to look forward to as a place of peace. And rest, I have to say this, rest is when you're not doing anything else at the same time. So rest is not flipping through social media. That's actually quite stimulating and distracting. Sometimes distraction feels like rest because we're not producing, but rest is a whole other thing. I heard it once said that peace is not just the absence of violence, it is peace. It is its own vibration, and rest is the same way. I adore legs up the wall pose. My entire business could just be drink water, put your legs up the wall. And if you've never practiced this before, you're gonna love it. And if you haven't in a while, or even if you do it every day, please just focus in on this practice. It is so impactful. Kids love this. You can do this with your kids. You can set a timer and do 8 minutes of this a day. I would be so happy to hear from some of you. And I've heard from many of you already that this is the practice that really brings the shift in your level of tiredness and energy and productivity throughout the day. So it's just like it sounds. Your body's on the ground, your legs are up the wall, you get your booty as close as you can to the wall, a little scooching is involved there. And the arms go nice and wide, and you fill the body with breath and let the mind get really quiet. And it's one of my favorite practices. I recommend it to all my clients. So that is what I have for this video today. Feed your adrenals, depend on water and rest. They seem like such simple practices, and I love that about them. And tapping into practices like this every day will really make a big difference in the way you feel, I promise. So thanks for tuning in so much today. Thank you for looking for simple ways that you can shine more brightly and love yourself more fully. I hope that you took something from this video today that serves you well.